suspecting that your spouse is cheating on you? When it comes to infidelity, so many people have suspicions, but they really don't know what to look for.
We're bringing sexy back. We're bringing sexy back.
Let's get it started. Harder, won't you give it up?
And so tonight, I want to talk to you about something that breaks my heart. Are you suspecting that your spouse is cheating on you? Now, I get the opportunity to work with couples all over the world. I have truly been blessed to do that. But when it comes to infidelity, so many people have suspicions, but they really don't know what to look for. And so tonight, I want to give you some signs to look for in your marriage if you suspect that your spouse is cheating. Now, I want to give you a precursor. Do not go and accuse your spouse of cheating if they fit any of the things that I'm speaking about, because there's always exceptions to the rules. And also, let me just tell you this. If you're going to open that Pandora's box, make sure that you have a plan to close it back up, i.e., contacting a professional like myself that deals with marriage and infidelity, sex issues, and all of those things. But make sure when you do interview that professional that they're going to get to the root cause of what led your spouse to cheat if it turns out that they really are cheating, okay? So I want to give that precursor. Number one, you start experiencing some money issues. That is a thing, because if your household has been functioning with a certain type of budget and there has not been any issues, and all of a sudden there is a huge deficit, or there's a deficit in certain areas that is not being paid, that could be an issue, because where is the money going if it's not going to that bill, or if it's not going to a certain designated area? Where is that money going? So if you start experiencing money issues, that is a sign, okay? Number two, there's a change in your sex life, or the pattern that you normally would engage in sex has changed. Again, this is just a sign, but that does not mean that is so, okay? And the reason why I put this one in there is because a lot of times when you are married, you get in a routine of when you're going to engage in sex, how often you're going to engage in sex. And if that pattern changes, there could be a couple of other things that are going on. It could be some health issues. It could be some stress things going on. It could be something else going on that your spouse is not ready to talk about. But if there is a change in your sex life or the pattern, how you engage, that is a huge red flag, okay? Number three, if they're spending more time away from home with no accountability, right? If they're spending a lot of time away from home, or more time than they normally would, with no accountability, and if you ask, where have you been? Or, I was expecting you to be home 3 hours ago or whatever, and they don't want to give you any accountability, that is a red flag, okay? Number four, if they just begin to avoid you altogether, that is not normal for your spouse to avoid you altogether, okay? It's just not normal. So if your spouse begins to avoid you, that is a red flag. You need to be aware that they're avoiding you and have a conversation, okay? Number five, if the lack of communication just breaks down, period. If every time you guys get ready to have a conversation about normal things that you was able to talk about in the past, and it ends up where, he or she storms off, or it ends up in an argument, or they don't give you complete answers, everything is very vague, that is a huge, huge sign for you to be looking out for, okay? And the last thing that I want to say is that these are just signs for you to look for. But my thing is don't go trying to make a scenario fit in order for your spouse to be cheating, or for you to validate that your spouse is cheating, because that's not always the case. people are, even though you guys are one living in the same household, there are so many things that people encounter throughout their day that they might not be willing and able to share with you at that moment in time. But again, I wanted to give you some things that you can look out for, because infidelity is real. Infidelity is running rampant in our marriages. And I have to tell you that these are some of the signs that you can be looking out for. And my thing is, the best thing that you can do is ask God to lead you and to guide you if you suspect that your spouse is cheating. Give it to him. Have meaningful conversations with your spouse. And if you do find out that your spouse is cheating, you can have life after infidelity. And you can repair it, but you're going to have to get to the root cause of what caused the breach in the first place, okay? The last thing is, I want to make sure that you have more tips if you are suspecting. I want you to click the link below. I have done another video, and just make sure that you click it and you can watch it for more tips that I give on how to suspect if your spouse is cheating. I love you guys to pieces. I am here every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you next week.